Hi guys, so today I thought I would film a video that I've actually been watching quite a lot recently, and as you can probably tell by the title of this video, it's basically about products that YouTube has made me buy. I'm sure that you're aware of this type of video. It's just where I'm going to talk through products that I probably wouldn't have usually bought, or YouTube has solely influenced me to actually go out and buy them. To give you context, about 2-3 years ago, probably 3 years ago, I had not much makeup whatsoever because I just had the minimal things. I just had what I thought I needed on a day-to-day basis. I never used to wear foundation, just used to wear powder, things like that. I just had no idea what I was doing. And ever since getting into blogging and YouTubing, things like that, I've become vastly more aware of what products do and how they can benefit my skin type. And I normally search YouTube for inspiration for products like so many other people do. I have YouTubers that I go to and take sole influence from, and if they say that they like a product, I'll no doubt go out and buy it. I'm one of those people. So I thought I would just talk you through products that YouTube has specifically made me buy. But going through all of my drawers, there are so many. I'm actually so ashamed by how much YouTube has influenced me to spend money. So I'm going to divide this into subcategories, and then I'm going to just film them differently and put them up at different times. So I hope that's something that you guys like. Let me know down below if you'd rather me do it a different way. But today I thought I would just focus on base products, because there's a lot of products that I will go to just for my face and just the base of my makeup that I feel like YouTube has really influenced, because I had no idea what I was doing before. Like I say, I only used to use powder. My knowledge of makeup has vastly improved so much that I've been really influenced to buy specific products. Some have done exactly what I thought they would do and perform miracles. Unfortunately, some haven't. So I hope this video helps you decide basically whether things are worth the hype of YouTube, because things can get so hyped so quickly that you feel like you need to buy it. And sometimes it's really not all that great, and equally some things are really underrated, or things do get the hype and for really good reasons. So I do hope that you really enjoy this video and it gives you some insight into products into my collection. I'm going to start off with primers, and you'll probably realise only in the past couple of years have primers become as big as they have. I know obviously years ago no one used to use primers, no one really knew what they did, and now people are becoming a lot more educated in what they can do and how they can enhance the wear of your makeup and just make things look a lot better. So there are 3 particular primer products that I have, and so I'm going to start with probably the most hyped of them all. This one is the Benefit Professional. I'm sure everyone has heard of this. I knew about this for so long and I didn't buy it because it is silicone based. So silicone based primers have the effect of smoothing out your pores, basically smoothing your skin, hide imperfections. It does kind of fill your pores, so it makes your skin look a lot smoother, and in effect it should make your foundation just look a lot kind of like airbrush basically. But the only thing is with this one is that my skin doesn't bode well with kind of oily silicone primers. It does just make my skin go really oily. I have really tried to make this work for me. I do find that the best way to use this is with a CC cream on top, because if you put anything too heavy it just mixes and it makes it look really cakey. Whereas if I do use this, I can get away with it if I just put the Bourjois CC cream is my favourite. So I don't put foundation on top and think, wow, I have no imperfections. It's done a really good job of smoothing them out, and I think it could be a lot better. It is just my skin type, so I know this works for so many people. All you have to do is search this product on YouTube to see how many people love it. But unfortunately for me, it just wasn't worth the hype. Now the next product is a priming water. Now I have the one by Freedom Makeup, but I know that you can get ones made by Smashbox as well, which is probably the one that's hyped the most. The reason why I bought this one and not the Smashbox one is because I wanted to test out what the product was like, so what a priming water is like. Because the idea is that it kind of helps to melt your makeup into place, it won't make it look cakey, and again just help it just wear a lot better. So I bought this one just to give that concept a go before I splurge on the Smashbox one. And unfortunately for me, I just, again, don't really see how it benefits. It is literally like spraying water on your face. I do like the fact that if my skin's a little bit dry, it kind of helps to moisturise it a little bit, but then again I get the same effect from a moisturiser. It just doesn't, I don't know, it just doesn't make my face appear glowy. The next product is not necessarily a primer, but it's a primer kind of product, so it's similar to that. And it's strobe cream. This is again the one from Freedom Makeup. Now I love Freedom Makeup as a brand. None of this reflects what I think of the brand. I know everyone says that as a disclaimer in their videos, but honestly, the Freedom, like Tan Beauty, Empire, the Makeup Revolution, the Freedom Makeup are amazing products, and I really would recommend them completely. But in this instance, the hype of strobe cream, again, this just makes my skin go really, really oily. When I first got this, I loved it because it did go really well with this and like a matte foundation to make it a lot more dewy. But then again, I have like dewy foundations that I prefer over the mixture. This does have a bit of a pink tone, and I know the MAC one does as well. The MAC one is probably the one that's been hyped the most, and I have swatched that one in store, and I was just a little bit underwhelmed with it, I guess. Now this one is definitely the one that I prefer out of the two. However, it just doesn't seem to work for me. I put this on and around my T-zone just gets so oily so quickly. And I think it must be something to do with what's inside of the cream to make it so glowy. And obviously the idea is that it makes your skin look dewy and shiny, so it's meant to give that natural kind of shine effect. But for me, it just encouraged my skin to go really oily so quick. So the first foundation that definitely was inspired by YouTube is the MAC Studio Fix Fluid. Now, everyone was raving about this as being such a good full coverage foundation, and I have to definitely agree. This is really, really good, especially if you just want a really flawless face. This is quite a thick foundation, but nonetheless, I absolutely love it. This will be my go-to if I'm either going to an event or I'm going out or something like that, that I know that I want my skin just to look amazing. I'm absolutely pleased I bought this, and to be honest, I don't think it was too expensive for what you get. Because you don't wear this every single day, you do wear this sometimes on occasions, then it's not too much of a disaster to splurge, especially when you know it's going to help you feel really, really confident. Now, sticking with the theme of MAC foundations, this is one that everyone raves about, still raves about, and it's MAC Studio Fix Powder. So it's kind of like the powder version of the Studio Fix Fluid. So this basically comes in a little compact. You get a sponge, which mine is absolutely gross, but you get basically the product on top, and then the sponge lives at the bottom if you want it to. But I actually really like this. I picked this up only a few weeks ago actually when I got back off of holiday. I wanted to get it in duty free, but there wasn't a MAC duty free in Bristol, which was gutting. So I ordered this when I got home, and I do really, really like this. What I like particularly is that it gives a bit more coverage with your powder. So if you are someone that likes to wear BB creams or CC creams like I do, this is a great way to actually give coverage in the areas that you really want it without going too heavy. A lot of people do talk about this, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna have to try it out and see if it's actually worth it, and so far so good. Next product that YouTube made me buy is one from the drugstore, and this is the Bourjois Healthy Mix Foundation. Now, everyone raved about this for the longest time, and I was a little bit hesitant because I kind of knew what foundations I liked from the drugstore, and I just thought, is it really that good though? Because I probably became a little bit snobbish when I first started vlogging. I thought, it can't be that good though because it's a lot cheaper than the other products. Like, how can this compare to the MAC one? If the MAC one's more expensive, surely it's better. That attitude totally stopped when I started like trying out new products, and I've come to realise quite often that high-end products act just the same way as drugstore products. So don't ever believe that misconception. If you do think that, stop, because this is definitely my favourite foundation. Like, literally definitely my favourite foundation. I feel like for me it crosses everything that's brilliant about the MAC Studio Fix Fluid in terms of coverage. I couldn't rave about this more. For the price as well, I'm always going to repurchase this. I do really like this, and it makes my skin look so beautiful, very radiant and very natural. So if you are looking for a drugstore product and for some reason you've made it this far and you've not tried the Bourjois Healthy Mix, do that next, because it is stunning. It's literally such a stunning foundation. If I had to probably get rid of all of my other foundations and I could only have one, it would definitely be this one. So that is the biggest thing, like foundation revelation, that YouTube has made me discover. Things being hyped definitely doesn't stop at foundations. Now, there are 3 standout concealers to me that I feel like YouTube has definitely made me buy or repurchase, and I just wanted to talk to you about them because some are good and some are not. So I'm just going to crack straight into it. The first one that is probably notably definitely influenced by YouTube is the NARS Creamy Concealer. Now, this is definitely the most expensive concealer I have ever purchased and probably will ever purchase. I think this was like £23 or something like that, and it was really expensive. So I wanted it to do amazing things, and I just feel a little bit underwhelmed. I think because so many people that I trust on YouTube spoke about it and about it just being the best concealer ever and you wouldn't need to try any other concealer. I feel a little bit cheated with this because it's good, you know, it's okay coverage. I'd say it's medium to buildable, but I just kind of want a concealer that's really full coverage, and if it's not full coverage, I want it to be dewy and I want it to be hydrating. I feel like they've kind of crossed the negatives of both and created this a little bit. It's not to say that I don't like it, because I do wear it and I am almost out of this product, but I don't think I'll repurchase it because of A, it was really, really expensive, and B, it's just not worth it. I feel like there are so many other concealers that I own, and that is a lot of concealers. Trust me, if there's anything I like to try, it's probably concealers, because I always have problems with my skin and I like to keep my foundation quite light, but I will try and increase the coverage in the areas I need it with a good concealer. And no, unfortunately this one, I just felt a little bit underwhelmed, and I know I'm not the only person that has said that YouTube has made them buy it and they just feel a little bit disappointed. So yeah, YouTube definitely made me splurge on this. It was such a big investment, and unfortunately I just wouldn't really recommend it because it doesn't do the amazing things that YouTube told me it would do. The next product is one that I purchased before, but I Covet These channel made me really want to repurchase it and try it again, and I've fallen back in love. You've probably seen me talk about this one already, but this is the Match Perfection concealer. This is such a gorgeous light concealer. Now, in contrast to NARS one, that's trying to be a full coverage concealer whilst trying to be radiant, and it doesn't quite do that, unfortunately. Whereas this one, I think, isn't trying to be too full coverage, it's trying to be like a light to medium coverage concealer, which not everyone might not like. People often quite prefer like a full coverage concealer. But what I like about this is that it's so good at putting under your eyes and literally lifting up your eyes. It gives your face a little bit more dimension, and it just sits really nicely on the skin. I don't feel like you need to touch it up throughout the day. It just makes my skin look so much brighter, and just when I'm getting up at 6 AM, I need something that's going to give me a little bit of energy. And I feel like this does exactly that. I can't rave about this any more than I already have, because I literally love it. As you can tell, I'm almost out, and I'm one of those people that is going to try and squeeze it just so I get all of the product out because I love it so much. But as soon as this is completely out, I will definitely be buying this again. It's so affordable. I think it's like $5.99. I bought this when I first got into makeup as one of those like first ever concealers, and I really liked it then. And just being on YouTube, watching other videos, seeing people use this again has made me think, yes, I want to try it, and I've fallen completely back in love. So if you're looking for a very radiant concealer that literally lifts your skin, makes it a lot brighter, makes it look a lot more radiant without giving you like an oily finish, this is definitely one that I would recommend so much. It's such a good concealer. So yeah, Match Perfection by Rimmel London. This is just amazing. And last but not least on the concealer front, it's the Maybelline Anti-Age the Eraser Eye Concealer. It's got like the hugest name ever, but basically I'm sure you've seen this before. It's a concealer that twists, it goes into the sponge, and then you can just disperse it, obviously like onto your eyes, under your eyes, on like imperfections, anywhere really. So I bought this one for when I'm more tan, because it's not really a full coverage concealer, it is quite light to medium, so I thought it'd be good to get a concealer for when I am tan, because as you can probably tell, the other concealers I've got are very, very light. So I've got this in the colour, I think Nude, it's the third shade in the range. I think there's 3 to choose from, this is the darkest. I just thought it'd be good for when I have a tan and just cover up spots and things like that. And the colour of it is okay, that's definitely not what I don't like about this. What I don't like about it is the application. I don't like these sponge applications, I think they're really, really unhygienic. The way it kind of twists and disperses into it, I just don't really like it. I don't feel like it gives me enough control. I would rather this have a doe foot applicator, because it's just so much easier to get exactly where you want it to go, and it just kind of drags my skin and I just don't like it. So I don't know, I really wanted to like it because everyone was saying how good it was, and just generally that it was a good concealer, but for me, it just doesn't do what I want a concealer to do, unfortunately, and I just really don't like the application. I know it's different, and that's what I do like when makeup brands come out with something that's really unique and different, but for me, the idea of this sponge applicator just shudders the idea of how much bacteria could actually be on it. So for me, it's a no for this. It wasn't very expensive, so I don't mean that YouTube made me spend loads of money like the NARS one and regret it, but I feel like you don't ever buy a product expecting not to like it. So for me, this just wasn't one that I really like. Now I'm going to talk about two powders that YouTube has certainly made me buy. I'm really impressed if you got this far into the video. Thank you, and keep watching. There's not that many more products to talk about. Now the first one, again, this is the most expensive powder I have ever bought in my life. This is the Hourglass Ambient Light powder, and this is in the colour Diffused Light. So basically the idea of this is that it gives a really natural, healthy glow to your skin as a powder. So you put it on top of foundation to make your skin look like it's hitting the light, but in a natural way. So you know, as you turn, and like you'll have the sun hit your skin, and it'll give it a very like luminous finish. This is the idea of the Hourglass ones, and the Hourglass products have had a lot of hate and a lot of love on YouTube, and that seems to be the mix. So this one is in the colour Diffused Light, as I've just said, and the idea of this one in particular is that it's going to help reduce redness throughout the day, and I suffer from redness so badly. It's like the biggest thing I become conscious of when I'm obviously getting myself ready in the morning. And so the idea of this was just amazing. I think this was around like £40. It was really, really expensive, but I do like it. I don't know what it is, what makes me love it so much, but the finish it gives, you probably can't see that, I don't really know why I'm doing that, but the finish it gives, it is very light and it doesn't cake up. It does make your skin look a little bit like dewy without affecting the actual foundation. So if you're wearing a matte foundation, your base will still stay really matte, but it just hits the light in a really lovely way. For the price, it's painful, but I do like it. I didn't want to like it because I didn't want to have to like want the other shades. Now, I've spoken about this powder recently. If you've watched my previous videos, you probably know exactly what I'm going to talk about. This is the RCMA No Colour powder. Now, when I ordered this, obviously I'm in the UK, so getting it was a little bit difficult. I had to go through Guru Makeup, and I think this 3-ounce product cost me £15, which really wasn't all that bad. I was more than happy to pay that for a good translucent powder. It's technically not a translucent powder, but it has the same kind of effects. But now it's available on beautybay.com, and it's available at like £10 something. So if you're in the UK, you can now get this, which is absolutely amazing, and the price point is so good. In particular, not just YouTube made me buy this, but it was definitely Kathleen Lights and Jaclyn Hill spoke about this and just how good it is. The fact that it helps to set your foundation, especially under your eyes. It's as you're baking that this really comes into effect. And I hadn't really tried baking before. I had tried it before, but like it didn't really work very well because the products I was using just weren't made for it, whereas this is perfect. I don't really have a fault to say about it other than the fact that everyone does need to try it. The thing with this is that you can touch it up as well because it doesn't add colour, it doesn't add coverage, and it doesn't cake. So this is like, I'm so happy YouTube made me buy this, made me discover this. So I want to end this video on two particular sprays. The first one, I'm sure that so many of you have either tried, seen or watched it in action, and it's the Urban Decay De-Slick Makeup Setting Spray, and now this is the oil control one. The reason I got this is that because I do get very oily quite quickly, in my T-zone in particular, it can become quite problematic. So I got this to help just the longevity of my makeup. This, in effect, I kind of bought this first of all for like going out, but really I'm actually the most boring 22-year-old on the planet and never really go out all that much. So I've been trying to incorporate this into like my everyday makeup routine. It does a good job. Does it perform miracles? No, it's not going to stop you getting completely oily. It is not going to totally stop oil production, but I think it does help for like the longevity of your makeup. Even if it's not too long, it does help. The way I use this, and I find that I get the best wear out of this particular product, is that you put your foundation on, squirt this into a beauty blender, and then put that into your foundation, and in effect it will help your foundation melt into your skin, and it just lifts it. It just makes it look so much more natural, and again you're going to get those like long-lasting oil-free benefits that the product does provide. I haven't used a lot of it, and I did pick this up probably May, June time, so I probably should use this more. I know it's there, and for some reason I just don't pick it up often enough. But since doing this video, I think I definitely will. There's no reason why I don't like it and why I don't think YouTube has hyped it up too much. I think everyone needs a good setting spray, and this is a really good one. The Urban Decay ones are brilliant. They do such a good job. Finally, in terms of the base products, this is why I had to divide it into categories, because there's so much to talk about. Like, this is just the base products. If I'd done every product YouTube ever made me buy, this video would be like a documentary. And that's pretty boring when you don't have David Attenborough's voicing over it. That would be cool though, like a beauty documentary, Beauty Earth. I'm gonna stop. So let's just talk about the final product. It's the MAC Prep and Prime Fix Plus. Who has not ever tried this? If you literally haven't tried this, let me know in the comments, because I do not believe that anyone that ever watches YouTube videos or read blogs hasn't tried this product. And the funny thing is that a lot of people don't like it because they're quite misconceived on actually what it does. Now, this isn't a setting spray, and this is kind of what I first thought it was. I thought, oh, I put it on and, you know, my makeup will last all day. No, it doesn't. But it kind of helps, but it doesn't help it last all day. What I like particularly with this is that if you do go too heavy on your base product, so say for example I put the MAC Fix Fluid on, and then I put the powder on, then I put the RCMA powder on, and I thought, oh my god, my skin is looking a little bit cakey with all these products layering up, quite thick products, and I can just tell that it's sitting on my skin quite weirdly. What I'll then do is I'll spritz this into my beauty blender. Obviously the beauty blender has to be damp for this to have like full effect, so spray it on the area of the beauty blender that you can apply to your face. Put it actually into where your base products are either looking cakey or just generally all around, just for like a more natural finish. And it will help the products like melt together. It will help it melt into your skin, and it will just make your foundation and like the rest of your base products look so much more natural. So with this product, although a lot of people say I don't really know what it does, it's probably one of those products that YouTube has definitely made me buy that I thought, actually, do I really need this? But I have this one. As you can tell, I'm like that much away from finishing it, and I have another one in my drawer ready to use as soon as I finish this, because it's become one of those things that have just become part of my makeup routine, that without even really realising it, I need it. I do need it. I'm definitely one of those people that love it. So that's it for base products that YouTube has definitely made me buy. Looking at it, it's just quite devastating how much money and how much influence YouTube has. Like, I didn't think I was that easily persuaded, but I definitely am. And now I'm beginning to be part of the YouTube community. It's affecting me even more. So this is definitely not going to be like the only video of base products that YouTube made me buy, because there's so many more to come, and I have been eyeballing up so many products as well. So I'm really excited to try other things out. I'm definitely not saying this is a negative, that YouTube is like a disaster, but it has made me spend a lot of money. So yeah, let's just mourn my bank balance and let's just move on. So let me know what kind of category you want to see next. There's like lips, there's eyes, there's skincare, there's nails, there's lipsticks, all the things. Yeah, I'm just terrible. So let me know what one you want to see next. But yeah, I think that this will be quite a nice series, because I love watching videos like this. So hopefully that's like the idea of mine, is that I'm just going to try and create videos that I like watching at the time. So yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys next week for another one. Bye guys!